In God Eater 3, the story shifts the series into a harsher, more oppressive world where humanity is barely surviving under relentless ash storms and the overwhelming threat of origami, and this darker setting directly shapes both the cast and the themes. You play as an adaptive God Eater, or AG, a new generation of warriors engineered to survive in extreme environments but treated more like tools than people, and that sense of exploitation becomes the emotional backbone of the narrative. The core cast: Hugo, the determined and idealistic leader; Claire, the compassionate support who sees the ages as human beings rather than weapons; Zeke, the loud but loyal bruiser; and the quiet but deadly Lulu, form a tight-knit found family aboard the Chrysanthemum, and their dynamic is built around survival, trust, and slowly reclaiming their sense of humanity. Unlike earlier entries that focus more on military structure, the story leans into themes of freedom versus control, identity, and the struggle to break free from systems that commodify people for survival. The ages are powerful, but they are also expendable in the eyes of higher command, and much of the plot revolves around pushing back against that dehumanization. There's a strong undercurrent of rebellion, as the group questions authority and seeks a future where they aren't just weapons sent to die. While the narrative can fall into familiar anime tropes and predictable emotional beats, the character interactions carry genuine warmth, especially in quieter moments between missions where bonds deepen and personalities shine. Wikipedia. Compared to God Eater 2, the gameplay in God Eater 3 feels noticeably more polished and aggressive, building on the series' signature blend of hack-and-slash-action with deeper strategic layers. In God Eater 2, combat relied heavily on blood arts and more utilitarian weapon and ship mechanics, which were satisfying but sometimes felt segmented or clunky at higher speeds. God Eater 3 introduces new systems like the Engage mechanic and Excel triggers, which not only boost your combat effectiveness, but actively reward playing as a team, encouraging fluid cooperation whether online or with AI. The dive system dramatically increases mobility compared to older entries, letting players quickly close distances, dodge aggressively, and reposition in ways God Eater 2 never quite allowed. Burst arts replace the older blood arts, giving every weapon flashy, powerful abilities that feel more dynamic and customizable, making each encounter feel distinct and impactful. The introduction of Ashborn Origami, monsters that can enter devastating power states and hunt players down relentlessly, adds strategic depth that pushes players to think more about positioning and timing than before. Even mission structure reflects these changes. God Eater 3 adds large cooperative assault missions that bring up to 8 hunters together to tackle massive threats under time pressure, a clear evolution from the smaller-scale hunts of God Eater 2. Customization in God Eater 3 also takes a step forward, giving players meaningful control over their avatar's appearance, weapons, and fighting style. From detailed character creation with body type, facial features, hairstyles, and accessories to layered outfits that can be mixed and matched, the game lets you craft a personal identity that feels like your hunter rather than generic avatar. Weapon loadouts are highly customizable too, letting you tailor not just equipment but combat approach through different burst arts and special abilities that suit your playstyle. Whether you prefer lightning-fast blades, heavy-hitting cannon-like weapons, or hybrid builds that balance range and melee, this level of personalization deepens player investment in both the combat and the story, because your AG doesn't just fight alongside the cast. They reflect your choices and style. On top of the base game, Bandai Namco supported God Eater 3 with free DLC updates that expanded the story and gameplay after launch. One major update added an extra post-ending episode called Another Devil, introducing new missions and characters like Neil and Keith Penaward along with fearsome new origami to fight, extending the narrative beyond the original conclusion. Later updates introduced the Traverse in the Past extra story episodes, which delve into backstories of your partners and provide deeper character development and additional world building, often unlocking new Engage abilities as you complete them. These free story expansions significantly extended the game's narrative footprint, giving players more reasons to revisit a world and learn more about its inhabitants beyond what the original campaign offered. And Bandai Namco and EU. While the heart of the franchise, fast, thrilling monster combat, remains, the new gameplay, deep customization, and ongoing free story content in God Eater 3 come together to create an experience that's both familiar to longtime fans and fresh enough to stand out on its own.